Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this beautiful first Sunday of May. We are celebrating May Day and also in a way, Mother's Day. For today, we are honoring the feminine part of our being and the feminine part that's in actually all of us, masculine, feminine, male, female. So we are celebrating that feminine part of us today. When we were children, many of us celebrated May Day. And this was done in, of course, many different forms. And the idea to celebrate May Day was to actually celebrate the month of May as Mother Mary's month or the month of Mary. However, that was not the first time the 1st of May was held as a celebration. In ancient times, before the Roman Catholic Church took over, in the Celtic religion, May 1st was actually the celebration of the goddess of the earth, the goddess that brought forth new life, abundant harvests, and the celebration of all that spring held. So, according to tradition, young girls would sow flowers on streamers. A pole was raised in the middle of the field that they were going to plant, and the streamers were attached to the very top of that pole. Then a dance was held. Lots of music, clapping, singing, all of that. And the young girls would dance in and out and around, each other, weaving the streamers around the pole. And then they go in and they come out and in and out, going this way sometimes for hours as the songs were sung. And at the end, the streamers were tied at the bottom, and the flowers and streamers were actually left in the middle of the field as an offering to the goddess to produce an abundant, healthy crop. And then in the fall, the pole was used as part of a fire to say thank you to the gods and goddesses for the wonderful harvest that they had. So when the Catholic Church took over, um, they kept the celebration of May Day, but moved it to honor Mary, the mother of Jesus. So it was a celebration to the goddess of life. So it was natural then to just have it stay as a celebration to the mother of Jesus, or goddess Mother Mary, if you wanted to say that, who produced the life of Jesus in form. So today we still have the maypole, the power, the flowers on the streamer, the dancing, all of it. But it's held in celebration of Mary, the mother of Jesus. So what does all of this mean metaphysically for all of us? Well, first of all, May Day is about life. So we could say it's about life with a capital L, the life within us, moving through us, the life of Christ, of sorts, the one, creation, whatever term you want to say. In the Celtic time, it was the time to plant the seeds for the new harvest. So the question is, what seeds are you planting in the field of spirit for your new harvest? So, what thought seeds are you planting in the field and realm of spirit throughout your day? And what are you harvesting in your life? Since the month of May was dedicated to the goddess and then to Mary, both being the divine feminine for our times, what are the divine feminine aspects of the goddess of Mary that that we all, including men, have within our innate being for us to bring forth onto this planet? Today, we are going to explore some of the parts of us that are being called into being for our planet, for the universe, for ourselves at this time, these divine feminine aspects. So this message for today actually comes from a book by Lynn Rogers, who writes on items that have come through the Edgar Casey readings. And this book is a study of points of connection between the Casey readings um, and what he addresses as the feminine aspect of God. So, first of all, Edgar Casey was called America's sleeping prophet. And he gave over 14,000 different discourses while he was in an altered state of consciousness. And he gave them on a variety of subjects: physical health, dreams, spiritual ideals, past lives, twin souls, Atlantis, and so many, many more subjects. And the author states that these readings were the result of many factors, one of which were the universal forces that Edgar Casey could tap into when asking questions. And what the author noted is that certain themes recur on specific subjects. And what came through Casey was that the creative forces are synonymous with a mother-father God concept, both aspects in one, not just the masculine aspect that many of us were raised with for God, but that it's a combination of masculine and feminine energies. And she wrote that this expression states that one of the two creative forces comprising the oneness is feminine, the eternal feminine, she calls it, which manifests in the spiritual, psychological, and cultural domains. So she writes that the eternal feminine is the divine co-creator with the eternal divine masculine in form, and that both aspects of our being require us, both male and female, to give credence to them equally. So the Casey readings state that male and female were at first one on a spiritual plane and then one on the physical plane before they were divided into the two physical entities. And Webster's dictionary describes masculine and feminine in terms of characteristics, not genders. However, according to the author, characteristics are both defined and honed by the dominant culture at the time. And so women and men have been assigned their characteristics over many millenniums by mostly the patriarchal society in which we've lived, especially over these last many centuries. And, you know, an evocative woman in a patriarchal society may be seen as a temptress, while in a matriarchal society, that same woman might have been seen as a healing priestess. So the eternal feminine can be found in, ideal expression underlying both matriarchal and patriarchal societies. And these include attunement with a holistic perspective regarding the lifestyle, the life cycle of all things. The feminine side of us has an appreciation of relatedness and connectiveness and the ability to reconcile and unify seeming opposites or polarities. In other words, the feminine side of us could be called the peacemaker in society. It wants all things to be in harmony with one another. So the goddess tradition is the manner in which various societies at different times have come to express their perception of the eternal feminine aspect in life. The Casey readings often refer to the eternal feminine as an equal focus of the God force. In one of the readings, Casey stated, peace that passes understanding, as Jesus stated, can only come with the heart being in at one ment with the Father, Mother, God of both aspects. So, over the past several decades, the eternal feminine has been re-emerging in both direct and indirect ways, and increased attention to an integration of both spirit and nature, greater appreciation for the full patterns of life, and increased personal honor and respect for other beings, especially now that, what we're seeing going on in our world. But these are all tangible symptoms associated with the goddess culture, with the feminine way of being, with our feminine side. And so the author wrote that mainstream religions are actually beginning to come around and have been around for a few decades, and with signs of the mother feminine energy coming through. So in 1983, which is a while back, but the very conservative Catholic Digest reprinted an article by Anne Bown-Fallis entitled The Mother Love of God, which stated that the mother love of God and the father love of God are really the same love. And this comes from the Catholic Digest. So, in commenting on the patterns of male or female ascendedness over time, Jessica Madigan stated, whatever is repressed within the consciousness of an individual or collective must one day rise up again. So in other words, whatever we are repressing inside of us, and actually that goes for masculine and feminine, it has to rise up because we have to be in balance. So Mary, Mother Mary, became a worldwide symbol of peace and hope. And Marion Woodman, who was a Jungian analyst, suggested that the Black Madonna is the new myth for the coming age of a common boundary seminar. And that was held in Washington, D.C. in the fall of 1989. And it was said that both male and female participants in that seminar acknowledged that the Black Madonna had been appearing with greater and greater frequency in their dreams. Mary had appeared in Lourdes, in Fatima, in Medjugorje, and there have been several Mary sightings and weeping Mary statues in the United States. And so what the author states through Casey is that this message is actually a plea for peace, for the coming together of mankind. And one of the visions that someone had in August of 1984, Mary is said to have stated, in God, there are no divisions, there are no religions, there is no masculine, there is no feminine. You in the world have made the divisions, and the one mediator of all is Christ. So the question here is, was Mary speaking only of Jesus who became the Christ? Or, as we in unity know that the Christ is within us, Did she mean the Christ energy that is within each of us and that brings the coherence of all things to this planet? In other words, the feminine aspect of our being to bring all things together. You know, our society has for many centuries divided up masculine qualities of empowerment, vitality, creativity, strength, et cetera, for the male of our species, and the feminine characteristics of gentleness, compassion, nurturing to the female of our species. And there was a time when it was very strongly suggested that never the two shall meet. However, society is changing in such a way that says both the feminine and the masculine aspects of our being are to be utilized by everyone. Therefore, gentleness, compassion, and nurturing can be a part of the males within our society. And the qualities of empowerment, vitality, you know, whatever traits that are considered more masculine are being recognized within the females of our society. You know, we all know of men who are raising children alone that have to bring out their nurturing motherly role as well as staying in their typical role as breadwinner, strength for the family, intellectual, organized, and all of that. But what we're finding, contrary to popular belief for hundreds of years, is that the attributes which we have called masculine and feminine attributes are not carved in stone, that each person within their own being has the capacity of fully honoring both sides of their nature. Feminine, female, masculine, male alike can be both strong and powerful and loving and caring at the same time. So each person, no matter whether male or female, can bring forth an aspect of growth or creativity or of development and nurturing or of wisdom. A Casey reading that kind of sums up why we need the eternal feminine to become balanced within us states, spirit that uses matter, that uses every influence in the earth's environ for the glory of the creative forces, partakes of and is a part of dual universal consciousness as one. The eternal feminine calls upon all of humanity, both male and female, to live a higher standard that promotes, as the author states, a mature and interdependent way of life infused with love and unbiased justice. You know, one of the aspects of our feminine self is the growth of our intuition. More and more men in our society are meditating to make contact with the eternal source of all in all around us, in us, as us, through us. This aspect of our feminine nature has for centuries been regulated to the woman. And this is where the term woman's intuition has come from. And it's always been taught that only women have this intuitive ability. And that as a man, you cannot reach this connection with the other side. And that, of course, has been blown apart for many decades and actually goes back centuries. In the past, though, it has been likened to males who have a special gift that was granted them from God and not available to the general everyday man. So we, of course, know that that's not the case, that it is one of the feminine aspect of everyone's nature to bring that forth. Of course, that is brought alive through the practice of daily meditation and connection with source, on a constant, continual basis. And it's hoped that as we awaken more of the feminine aspects of being in both male and female, a greater understanding of the existence of the eternal feminine will promote greater balance, mutual respect, and wholeness as both men and women recognize who they really are. And so, as we move through life, honoring that goddess feminine part of us that's within everyone, honoring the feminine Mary part of us, the nurturing, loving, compassionate, caring, balancing, harmonizing parts of us, we can hold in balance all aspects of our being and truly rise to be the Christ of ourselves, where all parts are in harmony. So I'd like to take that into a time of meditation. So I invite you to place a hand over your heart. And as you close your eyes, just allow yourself to take a few breaths in and let them out. And as you take each breath, just find yourself relaxing into the chair or the couch or the bed on which you're sitting or laying. And just allow your body to fully relax. You are one with spirit. You are one with source. You are one with all that is. And since you are one with all that is, you are also all that is. That means you are both male and female, masculine and feminine. You are both strong and powerful, and soft and gentle. You are both the thinker and the knower. You are both the one who is organized and the one who can surrender and be able to flow with the flow. You are one who can take care of another and one who is willing to be taken care of. You are both the giver and the receiver. You are all that is, which means all aspects of both the feminine and the masculine on this earth is who you are. There is no need to be afraid of showing strength or showing weakness. For even what we call weakness is actually a strength of being able to share feelings with others. It actually shows a strength within us when we are able to be vulnerable, to be open, to be emotionally raw. There is a great power in being able to allow feelings to come to the surface, be expressed, and allow those feelings to leave your energetic body. You know, it takes great strength to look at emotions inside of us that need to be released, and then to release them. It takes great strength to sit in the face of unwanted feelings and hold compassion, forgiveness, and unconditional love for another. And this is the combining of both the feminine and the masculine natures of our being. And so, with hands over our hearts, we just say, thank you, Spirit, for allowing me to give greater rise to both the feminine and the masculine natures of my being. May I fully be present on this earth, showing forth all the aspects of my being that I am. And so it is. And now just take a deep breath and open your eyes. coming back to this time and place as a fully incorporated self of the higher dimension of being. So thank you for joining with us today. May you be blessed with the peace and harmony of the Christ that is in you for all your days. Much love, everyone. Many blessings. Namaste. Have an absolutely beautiful day. Thank you again for being here with us. And so it is.